gave myself 72 hours to see if I could build an app and deploy it using AI.
So it's the 11th of June, 2024, and we're going to try and launch a brand new software company in under 72 hours with zero coding experience, using exclusively GPT-4 to write the code for us.
More importantly, I wanted to see if I could get any paying users for this software. Now, in order to make this work, we have a lot of challenges ahead. First of all, I've never 100% coded an entire software before.
So first of all, Bubble.io is going to be used on the front end, and on the back end we're going to use custom APIs, basically built using ChatGPT.
Secondly, the app needs to be simple, so I've come up with the idea of a song recognition tool and vocal isolator from short form content. Now, this is not going to be an easy challenge. I'm going to show you every step of the way, so stick around until the end. But this is what happened.
I told ChatGPT exactly what I wanted it to write, and it gave me a base code. So this is the file that we're currently working with.
Yes, YouTubers, subtitle them, add some GTA gameplay.
Now, in order to make this work, we have to massively simplify the app that we're creating and then build up from it from there.
So this here is just the basic MP3 file.
Subtitle them, add some GTA gameplay.
All we need to do is send that MP3 file to a software that can basically tell us what the name of the song is. But before we do that, we need to make sure that we take the talking out of it. So this should technically be the music that is playing in the back.
This is not like a production-ready application yet.
So what I'm doing is I'm getting ChatGPT to list me various different libraries or packages that I can use to split the audio. Whenever I run into a problem, I just give it to ChatGPT and it tells me back. Now, there's going to be some people saying, why don't I use Copilot? So I am actually using Copilot for some stuff as well. The plan now is to basically just follow it step by step.
This step is always the easiest because language models are pretty capable of creating simple mini scripts that can do mini tasks. The problem comes later when we have to deploy it and start getting users.
This is currently installing, which is good. Hi guys, I'm running a software company at the moment, and a lot of this stuff I'm still learning, right? And if you can test ideas incredibly quickly, then you're going to find that you can actually start to see some results, you can start to get some customers on. And this is what it looks like. We're just testing it out. So the first time we're running this script, it's obviously downloading some different packages. Once we've got a business that's actually generating income, we can then hire somebody to do this stuff for us.
But for now, in just a few hours, we managed to get something working that seems to work pretty well.
And there we go, just like that, we have got it working, but you can see here it hasn't actually identified the track. Now the reason I think this is happening, if you look up here, but if I play this one,
Go on CapCut, make compilation videos of your funniest YouTube.
it's just extracting the talking. So basically somewhere in here what we're doing is we're actually sending the audio recording, so basically just the speech, to Shazam. I just need to work out where that is, and I need to swap out the file name.
So far, to get to this point, we've only spent a few hours and it's been pretty easy going, and it looks like we could actually get some pretty good results in a very short amount of time from this application. The next step is going to be building the song recognizer. The problem with Shazam is you can't use that when there's narration over the top because it can get very, very messy.
There's one common error we keep running into, which is an index error. Basically talking to Copilot and seeing if it can solve the problem. We're going to give it another probably half an hour before we give up on this for tonight. It's currently 11:30. Right, so we're running it, and it's now created an MP3 file and a WAV file for the vocals and the accompaniment.
This is how you're gonna make $1,000 a day using just your phone.
Vocal separation is very good. This one is supposedly, fingers crossed, the audio one. But well, if you ask me, that is significantly better than the previous version. So now what we're going to do is we're going to try Shazam on my phone. If it doesn't work, then we've got to improve the quality of the extracted accompanying audio. And there is our problem. That didn't work. Bugger.
The problem that we've got here is the music that we've isolated is not always the cleanest, and that means Shazam's not going to be able to pick up the name of the song from that track.
I think we're going to try it anyway with another video, and we'll see from another video if that works. We're going to run this script again, and what we're hoping for is it's actually going to tell us the name of the track. There we go. It's given us the name of the song. Well, hey, it works. It actually works. It's also given us, obviously, a whole load of information from the Shazam API. So it's actually given us this link, which people can go ahead onto Shazam and they can find it.
Now, the steps I'm taking are very simple. I come up with an idea and I break it down into micro steps. Each one of those micro steps, I ask ChatGPT to write some code for it. If it doesn't work, we go back and iterate.
Yeah, pretty effective. The next thing that we can do is we've got the MP3 file for the vocals. We can then send to OpenAI's Whisper so we can get the transcript script for it. We've literally been going now for about 2 hours. I think I started at 10:30, but it's now 11:45 on the 11th of June. All we need to do now is turn this into an API and then put a front end on it and advertise. We've basically got a working application. I'm going to call it there for today.
So the first few hours of starting this challenge, it looks like we're going to be very, very close to getting this finished. We've already got a working script that will convert the MP4 video into an MP3 file, separate the narration from the music file, and identify the name of the song.
So I'm not sure where we left off the video, but it is now Monday the 24th of June at 1 PM. We're going to continue this challenge and we're going to see where we can get this to. We've probably got close to about 70 hours left in this challenge.
So moving this challenge on, the next plan is we want to actually be able to download the video directly within the code. We don't want to have to go to a separate external tool to download our video. We might as well build in a link downloader as well.
Now at the moment I'm working on a new script where I want to actually download the video from a URL. Basically I want to make sure that we're making this as simple and easy as possible for the user. Just ran this. You can see here, please enter the video URL. I put the video URL in. Then if we come into the video folder, you can see here we have the MP4 file. Next thing you would need to do is extract the audio and the music from this file. There's one thing I've learned while doing this. This is making sure that you have a plan for what scripts you're writing and where you're putting them before you actually do it, but it has to be done. So it seems to be working. We've run a test. I've actually started to use Claude. It works every single time with one link from either Instagram, TikTok or YouTube, but it is significantly quicker, significantly more reliable. So this videos folder is going to be filled up with 3 different videos. We're going to run a test now for the TikTok video. It's currently downloading that TikTok video, and here we have it. This is the TikTok video.
And the really cool thing is, because of the way that we've built this, we can actually add some very cool features. Now, for example, because we've got the separated vocal file, we can actually generate transcripts incredibly easy using OpenAI's Whisper. So we could just create another feature and simply tack it onto the side of our app.
I've been working on improving the isolation script to get better music isolation from the video, and as a byproduct, the vocal isolation is incredibly good, like it's incredibly clean. So what we could do is we could basically create a separate API which will clean up background noise from your vocals. The next thing I want to try is putting in a video of me talking somewhere that's got a lot of wind in the background and then cleaning up that audio and seeing how that sounds. Have you ever heard of the app BeReal? BeReal. Guess how much they sold it for. And now this is the vocals file which should be cleaned up. Have you ever heard of BeReal? Guess how much they sold it for. What would you say? Okay, so it's kind of okay. It's not, I wouldn't say it's perfect.
Don't forget, this is a 72-hour challenge. The ultimate goal is to build and launch an application using AI in a short period of time. And if we continue adding in new features, we're just going to slow the entire process down. So now we've got the basic scripts down for the app. We now need to turn these into APIs.
So to create the API, there's a few things that you can use, different platforms. We're going to use ChatGPT to walk us through this. So we're going to be using either Heroku to host the API or Google Cloud. So this step's kind of complicated. We've got to convert these 2 scripts into 2 separate APIs and make sure that they return the correct data that we can then save in a database on Bubble. It is 2:47 on Monday the 24th of June, so it's probably only been about 6 hours so far, so the 72-hour challenge is looking to be pretty easy. Right, we're getting set up with the Fast API now. So this is quite a complicated point, and this is quite complicated on how to do this.
The next thing you need to realize is that taking the code from the script we've got at the moment into a working API in production that we can use in our application is a mammoth task. What we've completed so far is very, very easy and very, very simple. Most people could do this, but moving into the API is where we get into the realms of big difficulties, and this could be the ultimate thing that either makes or breaks this challenge.
Also going to need to add security to the API, so we're going to need API keys. So the way that I'm doing it is I'm just using ChatGPT to send through any errors that I'm getting or any problems that I'm getting or where I'm at. So it's given me the Fast API endpoint. This stuff is going to take a long time to debug. It is currently 4:30 on Monday the 24th, so we've still got the entire front end that we need to develop, and ideally we want to get some marketing going now. This could cause a lot of problems in terms of getting this done within the 72 hours. Right, we are currently in the position where we can actually test this API. What we're going to do is we're about to test the actual video downloader endpoint, and we're going to send the URL of this video to it. We're going to click on send. Okay, so it's sending our request, and there we have it. That is the first successful code coming through. That is now done. As you can see, it's actually saved it within that videos folder, and here we have that video correctly downloaded. How cool is that? So that's now working pretty well. We're focusing on the next part, which is managing these files.
So far we've got the first API working. It allows us to download videos from any short form platform and give us a download URL URL. Now, unfortunately, where this video is saved is going to cause us a whole host of problems down the line.
So here's the really complicated part. At the moment, it's saving it locally on my computer, which is fine. But when we've got this as an API, it's not going to be able to save them locally. I'm not going to go into like huge technical detail for this stuff. If you guys want to learn the technical stuff, then I will put together a course. If you want to get access to that, the link will be down below in this video. So the next thing we're doing is getting it working in the cloud, and to do that we need to use Docker, which if you ask me is a massive pain in the ass, and I'm not going to try and explain it. Cool, we are done. This is the first test of the endpoint saved in the cloud. So we can click on send. There we go. Okay, we got something. No, hang on. Okay, denied resource. So something's happened. Okay, so we've got to debug that. It takes so long to get this working. We'll get there in the end. Okay, I think it's actually worked. So we've got the temporary file storage path, and then we've given us a download URL. So I'm going to open that URL. Oh my god, it's actually worked. Okay, that's insane. Right. Awesome. It is currently 6:30. The final thing I want to get tested today is if we can then save this in the Bubble database. So basically, by the end of the day, we'll have our first working, correct API hosted in the cloud that we can then access through our software. I don't know how many hours we're in now, but we're probably close to 24 hours in. We have got the first API working. I'm so happy. I didn't want to film the rest of this stuff because it's quite boring, but I spent the last couple of hours trying to set up security. We get the response from the endpoint, we get the name, we get the path of it, and we also get the download URL, which works when we actually download it. After 15 minutes, the download link expires.
So I'm going to whip up a very simple MVP in Bubble just to see what the user experience could look like with just this simple application. Basically a video downloader tool.
So all we do is we use the API connector in Bubble, and I'm going to set up a new API connection. So it's a matter of taking the endpoint from the previous version and putting it in here. So now we're just going to build a very little simple input form to test this. So this is the first MVP for this software, which will literally just be a video downloader. So the time is currently 7:42. Okay, so we basically have the MVP done. So here we have it. This is the basic MVP. We're allowed to put a video URL in here. So for example, we've got this TikTok video. If we click on download video, there's no loading animation, but once it's done, we then have the actual file here. Let's actually save that video file here. We can then open that video file and we have it here. The problem that we're having at the moment is saving the video file to the Bubble database. I don't have to have it like that. I can have it saved in the existing database that I've just created, but just ideally I don't want that to have to happen because I've got two databases and it's just a pain in the ass.
Obviously, as with everything, when things go well, eventually things will start to go wrong very quickly. I'm running into a problem. Every single time I download the video, because of where the API is hosted in the cloud, that video is being stored in a separate database, which is fine, but because we're building our front end on Bubble, ideally we want to use their database.
There's a new day. Last night I was up until about 1 in the morning trying to get this script to work. What I've decided to do is just give up with trying to host the videos in the Bubble database and just keep them in the database that I've currently got set up. It's actually kind of more convenient just because it's significantly cheaper to do that. Currently it's the 25th of June 2024. Claude is the winning model for coding at the moment. Like if I compare Claude to ChatGPT, GPT-4, it completely surpasses it. It is 10:40. I don't know how many hours we've got left. I reckon we've got close to 24, 48 hours left. We spent basically a full 12 hours yesterday. We are really cutting it quite fine to the line for this as well. So I've been working on this all day now. It's 12:20. The new plan was to basically store all of these files where I'd originally stored them. Nobody else can view those files. It's the permissions I just can't seem to work out. I don't know how much longer we've got left of this, but it's probably only maximum 36 hours. And within that time, I've got to use this API, build the next one, and build the front end of the application, and do some marketing. This is causing me a huge headache, and at the moment, there's like no way out at the end of this tunnel. And it kind of just feels like I'm just wasting time at this point, because obviously I'm not making any money from this app. Which is why, like, if you're doing something like this, you want to deploy on something that's very, very simple. So I may have shot myself in the back with that one, but we've got about 36 hours left of this challenge, and we are cutting it very, very fine. Okay, so we have now finally seen some success. We might be able to get this done. I was taking like 2 or 3 hours out, I had to do some other stuff, but turns out the app was actually working, but for some reason the file can't be opened on mobile on iPhone.
After having got over that one and basically just ignoring that problem for now, we can really start to focus on the important API. This is the one that's going to give us the name of the song and isolate the vocal file from the MP4 file.
Now what we're doing is we're just creating the second API. We're just going to give it to Claude. Claude knows about the previous one, so it should be pretty easy just to transfer this and switch this over. We could actually get get this done. But yeah,
We're going to take that working script that we have on our computer, we're going to tell the language model to convert it into an API, and then just continue iteratively testing to see if it works.
pretty cool. This last API is absolutely massive. It's taking forever to get it published. Now the problem I've got right now is because we're getting close to the end of this challenge, we've probably only got about 30 hours left, I am cutting some corners. So what I'm going to do is while we wait for this to deploy, I'm going to start planning out the front end design of this application. We need to add the login page, the sign up page, payment processes if we're going to have them, and also we want to have the dashboard area, and then we're going to start thinking about marketing. Right, so we're about to run the first test, and we're going to initialize that.
Now I'm really getting to the point here where I'm beginning to think we're just not going to get this challenge done.
It is entirely possible I may have bitten off more than I could chew in this challenge. It turns out the original script for the song isolation is actually broken. Deploying the app is actually causing me a huge amount of headaches at the moment. It's just exhausting having to spend so much time on this when I really thought it would be a lot quicker, because it's now 5:15 on the 25th of June. We are running out. We've probably maybe got like 12 hours tomorrow that we can work on this before we finish the 72-hour challenge, and I'm just facing error after error after error. Not a lot else can be done other than just keep going, I guess.
Now the biggest bulk of this task has been building these APIs and getting them hosted and deployed, and with the way that I've built these scripts and APIs, it's taking a huge amount of time to deploy them, which just eats into our development time.
So just checking in, it is 1 o'clock on the 27th of June. I've sort of been working on this on and off. Obviously I'm running my current software company, so having to do a lot of work on that, but I found a little bit more time today to work on this 72-hour challenge, and I've got some really cool things to show you guys. First of all, everybody on TikTok hates me. I've been doing this like live on TikTok, and finally it looks like it's working. Let me show you. So we just posted to that endpoint. We've got a whole load of security stuff set up as well. So we're actually giving it the video file, and then this is the output that we get. This is locally, and then we actually get the download path for that, and we also get the path to the actual file as well. But for some reason it's not actually saving those files in the temporary storage, so I'm not really sure where it's putting those files. So the issue we're actually having is this clean up the temporary files section. I think I must have left this in here from when I did a previous script. So what it's actually doing is it's writing the files and then it's just deleting the files. Oh god, I love this challenge. This is so good. Okay, I hope you guys are enjoying this video. Just to show you what I'm doing, I'm basically just talking to Claude and it's just writing some of the code for me. We have now tested the API. The API is working. Up here you can see the output files. We have the MP4 file that we've downloaded. We've then converted that into an MP3 file. We've then isolated the vocals and the music. Now it hasn't identified the name of the song, for the very simple reason that this video that we're extracting doesn't actually have any music in the background. It is now 1:30 on the 27th of June. I don't know how many hours we've got left, but it can't be more than a few hours, so hopefully we can get this done before the end of this 72-hour challenge. So what I've done is I've allowed the API to give me the name of the song and also the name of the artist for that song. We do need to improve the audio recognition because it has got the name of the song wrong. There we go, fixed it. Turns out I was actually just using the wrong identifier thing for Shazam. So now we've actually got the name of the song. I'm pretty impressed. So now what we're going to try and do is actually deploy this into production. The only one thing that we've got to do is work out a way of getting those files from the server to the client side. I always find this part is always the most annoying part, deploying the application into production. We've only got a few hours left of this 72-hour challenge. So we're just finishing up the final stages of deploying this. This will be done in like a couple of seconds, and then we're going to test it. Now, I don't think it's going to work first try. It is currently 2:30, Friday the 27th of June. Cool, so that is now deployed. So what we're going to do is run a test. So this is the first production test of this API. Annoyingly, as suspected, we're running into errors. I think it's trying to use too much memory, so we need to optimize this script a little bit. Yeah, that's quite annoying. So that is it, officially at 2:53 on the 27th of June. The application works, everything's working fine. This here is the output of the API. How cool is this? We've got the Shazam matches, we've got the name of the song, we've got the artist name, we've got the URL, and we've got the file for both the vocals and the accompaniment. Honestly, the fact that we've managed to do this in under 72 hours it's not without its difficulties, but it does seem to work, and that's the most important thing. But so far, this is the rough design that I've created. On the left here, we're going to have the video. Underneath, there'll be a button that you can play it, or there'll be a play button here, and then there'll be a download button if you want to download that video. On the right here, we're going to have the isolated audio sections.
We're going to start buying the domains and getting everything set up, because ideally, I want to get this whole thing built and still have enough time left at the end to do a little bit of marketing and get our first users.
So we're just going to get building that now. I'm trying to come up with a name. I've got a few ideas, one of them being Bop It, because we're trying to isolate the music. Currently, I'm playing around in Bubble to build the design. It's probably taken me, I don't know, maybe like 10 minutes to build this. The idea is you come onto this page, you click on this button here, you put in the URL for the videos, and then you're going to click on this, and it will then bop it, which basically means it'll download it. Obviously, all the functionality we've already coded, so we're just literally attaching it to buttons on the front end. For now, this is like the quickest and easiest way of building an application. using the code that you've written. So we're going to be calling it Bopit. But yeah, pretty cool. $10. We're just going to buy the domain now. Just so you guys can see, it is the 27th of June at 5:41. Cool. And there we have it. We are the proud owners of Bopit app. Well, right now we have a very basic looking dashboard of what this could look like. We have got the input bar at the top, the button here on the left. We have the video file, which we can actually watch. You can mute it. You can watch the video. And then here,
Excuse me.
we have the audio.
Do you have a dream?
We need to do the song name, and I think we're going to add the transcript in here as well, because I think that's going to make it look better. It's now 6:15 in the evening. So what I've done here is I've added in a little bit of extra code where we're going to get the title, the artist, album, art, and preview URL. This will give us the album art, and the really cool thing is we've got a preview URL, which we can then download and we can play. Awesome, so we can actually get all of that response now from the... This app is insane. I'm loving this. This app is going to be so OP. The fact I've done this in under 72 hours is actually insane to me. Right, that was simple. So we've now updated the API, so we've now got stargazing, the album, the artist name, preview URL, and also the album art. I'm now going to push these changes live, and all we need to do is show this data on the front end. So the next thing we need to do is get the transcript. We're just going to use Whisper for that, and then we just need to add in people's accounts so they can go and manage their account and the billing information. So all I'm doing now is setting up the API connector in bubble.io. This will probably only take 2 or 3 minutes. I've set up the Whisper one for OpenAI, and we're almost finished deploying the new update for the isolator, which will actually give us the name of the artist, the album art, the preview, music, and all of that stuff. We need the API key, that probably helps. So you can see here we've got the file name, all of that stuff, so we're going to save that. Right, the time is now 7:30, 27th of June. Again, I don't know how much time I've got left of this challenge, so what we're doing now is we're just writing an extra API. We're going to use that one to transcribe that file, and hopefully that vocal file will then be transcribed through Whisper. Cool, and there we have it. That is the transcript back from Whisper. So now what we're going to do is deploy the app again, and we're going to test if it works in production. Now I'm guessing we've only got like 10 hours, so I've got to get this done today. We are basically finished anyway. Stupidly, I'm adding in an extra feature, which is just added in probably another 8 hours work, and that's basically just because of OpenAI dependency issues and stuff. But we have resolved those problems.
There we go. Finally, we now have the APIs working. We have them hosted in the cloud. All we need to do now is get the front end part of our app built. That is everything that people interact with, and display the data from those APIs to the user, allow people to create accounts, and ideally we want to have some sort of payment system set up so we can have different paid plans.
Do a test checkout. Once that checkout goes through, it will then redirect them back to this page here and say this card was successfully charged, and it will then upgrade their account. Right, and here we go. The app is now being deployed live, so we can now go to Bopit app, and this should load up as the live version.
So the application is now finally complete. Now don't forget, this is more of an alpha/beta test. We just want to get our first early users and see if this is actually a viable business.
So now I want to test the upgrade feature. So I've just approved that payment on my phone. That payment went through. Excellent. And now, once we click OK, we now have an additional 10 downloads.
Now the ultimate goal is to build this software to get users and ideally paying customers. And eventually, if we get enough paying customers, we validated the idea, we can spend more time on marketing and eventually sell this software.
We are now going to try and promote it. So I think to try and promote this, we're going to push this to Reddit, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and the newsletter, and see if we get some people coming to the website. I am going to also add Google Analytics as well. So I just spent 10 minutes making sure this looks all right on mobile. I've linked this up to my Instagram account now. So it's now in my Instagram bio. When I open it up, this is what it looks like. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. I mean, it's an incredibly simple app. I've also filmed a video which I'm going to be posting now, which kind of shows off what the app is. So that's kind of what the video is now. All I need to do is update the link in the bio on this account. Then we're going to do the Twitter post, the newsletter post, Reddit post, and that'll probably be it for now. Probably one on LinkedIn as well. So we're about to launch, so make sure you stick around and see what happens if anybody signs up and uses the app over the next few hours for the rest of the day.
Now, I want to highlight a very important point here. I am promoting this software on my personal brand, so I have some followers on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, but I don't have that many. You can actually see on Instagram, I've only got about 400 or 500 followers at the moment on that platform. So I'm not at a huge advantage over anybody else watching this video. All I would recommend is when you build your first app, you just need to get some content out there. And if you don't know what content to put, just film a very, very basic video showing off the features and just get something out there. That is the only important thing. Don't overthink it.
The other thing I did is redo these progress animations just because this looks a lot better. I just ran another test. We are having a couple of issues. For some reason, we're only getting 30 seconds of the isolated vocals and 30 seconds of the transcript. I'm going to put a notice on the site that says we know this is happening, just because it takes a while to deploy these apps, but we're probably not going to get much traffic for now anyway. Okay, we seem to be already getting a bit of traffic, so these I think are for me. We've got somebody from America currently viewing the app, which is very, very cool. So we've got 4 people coming from Instagram, 1 person coming from TikTok at the moment. I haven't even posted the launch video on Instagram yet. We've already got people visiting the website. That's actually insane. So now we're going to post the video onto my Instagram account, and then we're going to post this on Reddit and Twitter. Okay, we're just going to create a little demo video for this app, and then we're going to post that live onto Twitter. So that's what the video looks like, and then what we'll do is we'll just craft it into a post and post it onto Twitter and also to LinkedIn. So I've got 7 views on Instagram, and on TikTok we've got 226 views. So it's really early days, but I'll obviously keep you guys updated over the next few hours. We literally launched it about 3 minutes ago. Hey, we just got our first user. Literally, this guy here has actually downloaded 3 videos. I'm not joking. That is insane. We have had this for about 20 minutes now, and we've got our first user of the app. He's downloaded 3 videos, which means he's tried the app 3 times. So he actually downloaded this video here. It's given him the transcript, it's given him everything. So there were 2 other videos that he tried to do, which for some reason failed. So what we're going to do is work out why they failed, and then what we'll do is we'll try and fix any bugs or issues that we see with that. But that is insane. Within 20 minutes, the first user for the app. So we're just going to run a check on that video and make sure that we can get it working. Okay, very simple error. The file name was too long. Okay, well at least we can fix the problem. I managed to fix those bugs that I was having, so now we've managed to download the video, we've isolated the vocals. The entire length of the vocal file is the full length of the video. We've only got about 750 views on TikTok and about 100 or 200 views on Instagram so far. Typically Instagram will get to about a few thousand views over the next 24 hours, so it's a bit of a slow burn. So let's try the time difference now on this. We're going to get the transcript file, so the video file just came through. Now the transcript should be processing, so that should come in next, and then there we go, we've got the transcript through. That was significantly quicker, and now we're just getting the isolation. We are going to send out that video. It's a 30-second long promo that has now been tweeted. Awesome, so that is out. Holy shit, we've got a lot of people using the app. I literally just realised we had 4 extra people use the app while I was fixing those bugs. As you can see here, we launched it at around 2:15. We got our first 4 users for the app. It is now 4:15 and I've done the 2 extra promotions. That video is now out on LinkedIn. And now all we have to do is wait. I'm going to make a couple more videos on TikTok as well, because TikTok is very, very good for driving clicks, very, very good for driving views. Just a bit of a summary on the results so far. 600 views on the promo video and 176 views on Instagram for the promo video, which means from views we're getting a 0.63% sign up rate. But this is the point, this is like the purpose of doing the build in public stuff, because then when you actually launch, this means people are now finding the product literally just by clicking the link in my bio, and I'm already getting data. I already found out there were a load of bugs, and then I've just fixed those bugs. I want to show you I'm posting a new Reddit post. This will be the first Reddit post I'm putting out there into the video editing forum. I've created the link, and obviously I've added in the Reddit tracking link as well, and we're going to post that. That post has gone out. I'm going to give this a go in a couple of forums and we'll see what happens. Another one in the TikTok group here, and I've also put a photo of the app as well to show people what it looks like, to show that they can actually get the video, the isolated vocals, the song and the transcript. Twitter's kind of doing okay at the moment. We're just getting a couple of views through, not a huge amount of progress.
And there we have it, guys. The app is now officially launched. In under 72 hours, we have used AI to build an entire working application. We've gone from a completely clean slate to a working app that users can sign up to. They can download videos, they can identify the name of the song, they can isolate the vocal file, and they can get the transcript for. We have built in a payment system so people can upgrade their accounts if they want to. There is a free plan in there for them to play around with the app, and we've got our first posts out across Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Reddit.
Here's some stats as well. In the last 30 minutes, we've had 7 people on the website. These are the views on the videos at the moment. This is the video that I actually promoted the product on. And this is my TikTok account. So this is the video that I actually promoted it on. So 638 views. Obviously, if you want to start making money from this, you're going to need to do a lot more work in terms of marketing and pushing a lot more traffic. Okay, and then this is another post that I'm putting out into the Entrepreneur subreddit. And we're starting to get a little bit more traction now from this post. That's literally just gone out as well. Okay, I don't want to say it's going viral, viral, but we are getting a lot of people coming onto the app. So we've got most of them coming from TikTok, a couple from Instagram. I did an Instagram story post as well. 16 people in the last 30 minutes. This person literally just came in and used the app. That worked. The app is working. I'm just loving doing this. This is so exciting. Like, the fact that people are downloading videos, I can just see exactly what videos they're downloading, why they're downloading them. We're learning about our users. The great part about this entire thing is the app is running on autopilot. It works. I don't need to do anything. I have literally built an app using Claude and ChatGPT in 3 days that now just runs in the background. So I want to give you some context on where these views are coming from. We're literally just watching people sign up live. But this is what's happened. All of the videos that I've been doing, building in public, getting a few thousand views. Okay, this one here that I posted a couple of hours ago, about an hour and a half ago, got 1,500 views now, and this is beginning to scale quite quickly. If I refresh the page, 1,531 views. If I come onto the analytics, you can see we're actually getting a lot of people onto the site, mostly from TikTok. None of them have actually upgraded their accounts yet, which is a shame. We want to get more people downloading videos, but this is exactly the same strategy that I used to launch ChatIQ. It is insane how quickly you can build an app and actually get people using it and start learning from your customers. It is now 11:41 on the 3rd of July. So at the moment, we've got 10 people on the website. These three are the 3 launch posts that I did for the software. We got on the Instagram account, we got 184 views, 151 views, and 164 views. On LinkedIn, we got 23 views from our post. On Reddit, we got over 7,500 views so far on that post. This post has got 10 different comments. So in the first 9 hours of launching Bop It, we managed to get 26 users. To show you the proof, these are all of the users that signed up for the software. This is where they came from. Now, out of those people, only 2 people used up all of their credits on their account. That's 2 people who could potentially have upgraded their accounts and paid for a pay-as-you-go plan or a monthly plan. Neither of those people upgraded, so far out of 26 users, 0 people upgraded and paid for an account. But for now, I am exhausted. This has been a very, very tiring challenge. If you want to learn how to build your own apps, there will be a link down below in the description to show you how to do all of that. So it's now the morning after. It's been about 12 hours since we launched. So from 62 people visiting the website, 29 people created an account. Reddit worked incredibly well. We got 16,000 views on that Reddit post. The other ones didn't really work. They all got banned. So it's just a few days later and we have our first paying user for Bop It. Here you go. You can see Bop It Pro, $9 per month. This is a monthly recurring revenue for Bop It. And if we look at the total amount of traffic that we've been getting over the last sort of week, we've had about 700 people onto the website. So that's about 700 people onto the website. 135 people have actually signed up to use the app. 1 person is now paying for it. Hopefully this gives you guys a little bit of motivation. Okay, continuation of the Bop It app series. Turns out it's kind of gone insane. People are now reposting it. A guy just sent me a link to an account that reposted advertising my product. This is the page here, 70,000 followers. This is the video of the app, 20,000 views. It's insane. And you can see the number of people that are commenting saying yes, they want the name of the app. Okay, well there you go. So that's basically free influencer marketing. But here are the numbers. We've got 167 people signed up actually using it. We have 1 bug, and that is we're not able to download Instagram Reel videos, and we got 1 person paying.